Today, I'm going to show you how to set up and install this fan, the Fanimation Airedrop pull chain fan. To start off, what I like to do is put this piece on. It just helps for later down the road when you're putting it up in the ceiling. To start, you loosen these 3 screws, and one of them you have to take out completely. It doesn't matter which one. But we'll go to there. Okay, now you've loosened those and taken one of them out. What you do is fold this. It's kind of hard to do with one hand. Okay, and then fit the screws in right there. And then you put your other screw back in. Now that you've done that part, don't forget to tighten these screws back down. And then you can flip it over. What I like to do is set it on the styrofoam piece that it comes with. And then you'll take all these 6 screws out, and then these 2 screws as well. After you take those screws out, you can pull this off. There's 2 pieces. Those 2 pieces, just set them to the side for now. And then this is where you install the fans. In the box, you'll find a bag of screws and washers. Put all the washers, 1 washer on each screw. And then what you'll do is you'll get a fan over here, fan blade. They're double-sided, so you can either use a black side or a gold side. We're using the gold side for this place. Insert them through the slits. And then there's 3 holes here. And that's where you will drill the screws into once you get all the washers onto them. And you'll do that for all of the blades around. All 3 screws into each fan blade. They always give you an extra, so there will be 1 left over. And then after that, the next step is to put the cap piece back on. When you're putting this back on, don't forget the black piece. And there's a little notch that you put this into. It doesn't line the holes up perfectly, but you can kind of adjust it a little bit, try to get it as close as you can, and then you'll just drill these guys back in there. So for your next step, you want to find this piece, and what you want to do is take it all apart. So it'll be this little guy in the end of this one. So just take that out, set that aside. And for the bottom, you need to unscrew this screw just a little bit so that it can slide down, and then that rod will fall out. And then that can slide off just like that. And then with this piece, you'll slide it over the wires and down and screw it into this bottom piece right here. So after you get it screwed in, you'll have to unscrew it just a little bit to get the holes to line up. But once they line up, you'll take this piece and you'll slide it through. Oops. And then find that other piece that I just dropped. Here it is. You pick that up and you'll stick it down that hole so then it can't come out. And then with these other 2 screws that we unscrewed a while ago, you'll screw them back into these holes on the side. And that's just to keep this from twisting. There are 3 pieces that we have to add to this before we put this back on. First off, it's this one. It's the smaller of the 2. Slide that on to there. Then you grab this piece. You put it what seems to be upside down. Put it like that. Okay. And then this piece as well would go upside down. What seems to be upside down, like so. And then you put this on. Feed those wires through. Sorry about the light. I can't really do anything about it. But okay, put that on and put this this rod back through. And just lift it up and slide it into that, and then screw this back in to hold it there. Once you have that on, like this, it's time to work on the bracket. First off, I always unscrew these a little bit, just to get it to the point where I can screw them with my hands, because it makes it a whole lot easier once we put the fan up there. So obviously what you do is screw in your bracket. I do a little tug test to make sure it's not gonna fall. And just strip the wires out, get it all ready, and then you'll lift up the fan and set it into that little pocket. Once you get the fan up here, there's these little slits in that ball, and on the very back side of the bracket, there's a thing that fits into it. So you just slide it, and it should fall in like that eventually. And what you do is you just wire it up. Your black goes to the blue. Is like the only weird thing. So black to blue, white to white, obviously ground to ground, and then red to black. And that's how you wire it up. After you get it all wired up, just shove the wires back up in there. Take this piece, find one of the screws, turn it onto it, and then you'll get the other screw that you took out and screw it back into there. And then just tighten them up a little bit. Once we get to this point where you've screwed these in a little bit, take this piece, and there's little slits on either side. So what you'll do is you'll just slide it into there. See if I can do this with one hand. Sorry, I'm not showing it. Maybe not. Kind of difficult with one hand, but anyways, there you go. Then you just twist it. Twist it, and then it'll stay up like that. And then we're almost done. We just have one more part down here to do. Again, what you want to do is loosen these 3 screws and take one of them out. And then you'll take your light piece and you'll plug that piece in to there. It's color coded, so it's easy to figure out which way goes where. And then you'll stick the screws through those holes. Boom. Just like that. Okay, so now your final step obviously is just to screw these back in. Tighten them down. Just a little bit right there. And you'll take the plastic piece, slide it up on, and voila, then you can attach the pull strings, and we're done. And there is your final product. Looks good.